Hey guys, my name is MRIDUL, a filmmaker that makes random videos on YouTube on a weekly basis, and it's been 1 month since my first feature film, The Last Day of Childhood, has come out. You can watch the film for free on YouTube, and I just wanted to spend this video discussing the 3 main lessons that I learned while making the project and how it's kind of changed the way that I view creativity in general. Through my filmmaking journey, it's been pretty hard for me to get over my imposter syndrome. Like, I've always felt like, oh, am I really a filmmaker? Am I really making films? What am I doing with my life? And just making this movie just allowed me to get rid of this imposter syndrome almost entirely. So the first and extremely important lesson that I learned, or something that I already knew and is fairly obvious, but something that was really internalized, was to finish your projects. For a creative person, it's very easy to think of all of these amazing ideas and things, but when you're actually executing these ideas, they don't really quite match what you envision them in your head. And because of that, you kind of feel like giving up on the project after a point because you think that you can't really execute it properly and it's not even worth making, really. But, and a similar thing happened to me for The Last Day of Childhood. I made around half of it, and then I kind of just gave up on it for a few weeks and was not going to make it at all. Finishing your projects is absolutely crucial, and I've talked about this in a few videos before. Leonardo da Vinci had a lot of masterpieces that he never actually finished, and if he did finish them, it would probably be some of his best paintings. Michelangelo, all these great artists that you hear of would have been even greater if they just finished certain projects that was just destined to become amazing, but they just didn't do it. And the thing about finishing projects is you also get what you did wrong and you're able to reflect on it, and that kind of chapter of your creative journey is now over and you can move on. Whereas if you don't really finish the project, you don't complete that feedback loop that's going to improve your art. The second lesson is that honesty is the key to emotional connection with your audience. All of my short films and everything beforehand were pretty cold and no one would really feel anything while watching them. Often, the people who watched my films would leave confused and asking me what really happened, what was the point of everything that happened. And that's mainly because with my short films, I was trying to portray something, portray an emotion without being totally upfront about it, totally upfront about how I felt about it. And I wasn't really putting myself into a project in like a vulnerable way that almost scared me. With The Last Day of Childhood, I literally I do a lot of things that were very scary before the release, and I really thought that people would hate the project because I think that kind of honesty isn't really, I was just not used to sharing that much of myself, not in terms of just what I do or if I'm crying or something, but just my thoughts and outlook on life. And people watched the film and some people cried to it and stuff, and that kind of emotional connection is something that I've never had before, and it's so amazing to have, and the key to that was honesty. My last important lesson is to push yourself with an uncomfortable deadline. I feel like if you're not being slightly uncomfortable with what you're doing with your art, it's a bit like you're not gonna really push yourself to make the greatest thing that you can. For me, this time I really had a strong deadline to finish this project. And I did go a day beyond the deadline because I had some exporting problems, and there are some issues with the film that I can see that were because of the whole exporting process and how problematic that became. But overall, I really pushed myself in terms of the edit weeks in advance. I feel like if someone else was editing, they would have taken like maybe a month extra because they didn't have that really uncomfortable deadline. When I set the deadline, I was literally freaking out. And I was really uncomfortable, and just having that just really allowed me to push myself and get over with the project and really work impulsively and really be really creative because it was just, everything was just flowing out of me, if that makes any sense at all. Anyways, that was the 3 lessons that I learned from The Last Day of Childhood. Once again, the film was released a month ago for free on YouTube. If you want to check it out, go ahead. I hope you enjoy it. And you know, if you watch it, thank you so much. If you watch this video, thank you so much. I love you so much. You're unstoppable, you're the best. And I'm rambling on way too much, and I'm just gonna shut up now.